Hello everyone. Today we are going live on YouTube, something I haven't done for a while. Hopefully, it won't be the last time for a long time. We are going to do some patch review. There was a big patch on May 21st, and it really came with a lot of changes. And I think some of them are really important to know, so we are going to go through them together right now. So the first thing will be that there is, of course, a new story. This is the conclusion of the whole story with Secrets of the Obscure. And the last chapter, I believe, is 19. This is not the character I use for stories, so you won't see here. But the last chapter is 19. Um, I don't really, I don't know what to say about the story itself. I'm not going to give any spoilers. But I don't think this will be the end of this specific arc. I think we're potentially going to see more stuff as we go. Again, related to this specific one. So we will see. Now, one thing I will tell you about the story itself is one thing that was really tricky for me is this one: how to get this special reward thing from the Wizard's Vault. And so, when I actually finished the story and I did chapter 19, it didn't, it just didn't work. And so I thought maybe I missed something. The last chapter is where you will also see the credits rolling, just like they did with the story in End of Dragons. So I thought maybe I need to watch the whole thing or wait until the credits are over. But no, that is not the case. Again, not any spoilers, but when you do the chapter yourself, um, on your top right corner, you will see an optional task. And then below it, there will be something called locate the portal and exit or something like this. That's basically what you need to do. Find the portal and use it to exit. And that is going to trigger the end of the chapter 19. And then it will give you your reward from the special tab here in the Wizard's Vault. The portal will be, you will need to go multiple stairs down to be able to find it. So it's not exactly the easiest thing to do. But you don't need to wait for the credit or anything. So that is one thing. While we are on the subject of the Wizard's Vault, I wanted to explain something quickly because I think that is maybe something we are not all familiar with. So if you notice, the limit we should have is 1300 Astral Acclaim. I'm currently above that limit. I'm currently at 1725. And I have two rewards I can claim. I have the normal login reward thing, and then I have the special one that I just completed recently. If I try to claim now, nothing happened. Like I'm clicking on the chest, nothing is happening. I'm not able to claim my rewards. That's because once you are above that limit, above 1300, you can't claim any more rewards. You actually have to spend whatever Astral Acclaim points you currently have before you can spend more. Okay, so this is just a quick tip because I think some people may not be familiar with this. Now, another thing that also came with it, let me switch quickly to my scrapper here to show you. There is a new part that opened in the new map in Inner Neos, and there is also a meta for it. The meta is not exactly the hardest, but it needs some coordination. However, unfortunately, the couple of times I have tried to do it, it failed. And the reason it failed is because um, the boss got bugged a couple of times, and that was really unfortunate. And so just keep that in mind that it may unfortunately happen. So let me show you the part I'm talking about. Here it is. It's this part here. This is I don't want to get any spoilers, but you can see the name on the map. So this will be the new part. It's a whole meta and stuff. Again, right now it's a little buggy. Hopefully it will be fixed very soon. But this is the last part of the map for Inner Neos. And now we have the complete map. This is, I think, where we started. This is what we go with the second part. And this is the last part here. Now, there's also a new pit. And I will show you the pit in a minute. But the pit, the easiest location for me personally was here. Was around here in this island, which you will find if you open your map. and then you go to Hater's Dominion. Like, look at Hater's Dominion. You'll find it kind of like on a hill like this, and then it's the hill a little bit north of it. It's the point of interest here is Hater's Gate. You need to go up on the mountain thing, and you will find the new pit in there. There are a couple more locations, but this for me was the easiest to get the new pit. So I will show you right now. I think it's called Stargazer or something like this. I will tell you the name exactly right now. Okay. So where are the things? I guess it didn't register. Oh, this is not the build I was running, probably. Oh, right. Let me change builds here quickly. Here it is. Okay, let's do that. Okay. So it's this guy, Spine Gazer. That's the name, Spine Gazer. So the F2 ability you will get with it is going to remove wounds, and it will do a decent amount of damage. And then when you go to Soul Beast mode, your skill number F1 will do some blindness and confusion on 5 targets, and of course some damage too. And then you have your F2 that will do some torment as well on a single target. And then this is one of those condition pits. So your F3 skill is going to be the Primal Cry, which is mainly conditions. And of course, it will still do a decent amount of damage. So this is the type of the pit itself. Okay. And you also get that Deadly, which again, since makes sense, this is Primal Cry, condition stuff, you will get the Deadly buff, which will increase your condition damage and your precision. So this is a new pit. We also have a new mastery. Ah, we need to change maps already. Okay. So we also got a new mastery, and it's this one, Wayfinder Mastery. So if you hover on it, you will see it has actually multiple effects. So the first one is you can now craft the second tier of the legendary armor. This is for you who have been working on it, the Obsidian armor. And then we have a new vendor. Let me show you exactly where it is. If you open your map, you will see there is a new workbench right here. And this is where you will find also the new vendor. So let's go there and I'll show you. Here's the vendor right here. Now, this vendor, in my opinion, is fantastic. I will still show you what you will get with it, but let's see the rest of the benefits from the mastery. Also, your arcane chests now open much faster, and they do actually open much faster. Is that when you are fighting Eparch, which is going to be a part of the meta, this is going to also help you in the fight. And when you finish the meta successfully, you are going to get a little bit more of a rare item that will help you, like it will be required for other stuff. Again, unfortunately, I wasn't really able to get a chance to show you myself what this item is, but I don't want to give any spoilers. You can, I'm sure, go watch videos for maybe people who have done the meta successfully and see what kind of items they will get. Unfortunately, when I tried to do it a couple of times, it got bugged each time. And so I'm waiting for it to get fixed before I try it again. But let's also look here. Right beside the workbench thing and right beside this vendor, you now have a charging station. And if you don't know what it is, basically you can interact with it anytime you want, and it will give you 4 battery charges immediately, assuming you have the mastery to carry 4 charges. And right beside it, there is an offensive Jade protocol and a defensive one. And that means when you charge your station or you charge your batteries from here and then interact with the offensive one, for example, you are going to get 3 hours of that buff. So here is the 4 charges, and if you hover, now I have this buff for 3 hours. And it's extremely easy. And then you can come back here, charge your battery again, go interact with the defensive one. And now I have the defensive buff and the offensive buff for 3 hours. And all it took was probably less than a minute. It took a little longer because I was showing you the locations and stuff. But if you are coming here to charge and to get your battery and to get your buffs, it will take you probably honestly less than a minute. And so this is, in my opinion, a very good change. You'll also notice it didn't give us the message that says you can't use it right now or something like this. So you can just interact with it immediately. So it's really, really good. I'm hoping in the future they will also add it to other passes, specifically the Thousand Pavilion one, the Thousand Seas Pavilion one, since this is the one we got with End of Dragons. And so it's a little relevant there. So hopefully we'll get it in there. But at least we now have it in the Wizard's Tower. And speaking of which, when you go to any of the passes and then you try to use the portal thing to transfer, one of the locations will now be the Wizard's Tower. So let me show you. Here, for example, in Thousand Seas Pavilion, when you interact with the portal, you will see, let's see, view destination. Oh, where is it? I guess it's because return to the previous map. This is where I was. Maybe. Okay. But it should appear as one of the options that you will do with a star. Or maybe because I haven't unlocked the Wizard Star on this character. Maybe, I don't know. But anyways, it should appear as one of the options. And of course, you also have the scroll that you can unlock and you can use anytime anytime you want. Now, also, we have 6 new relics. So let me show you here quickly. So the first one is Zakiros, and when you actually select the relic, it shows you the effect more properly here. Like you can see the whole description. So when you have Fury, convert 4% of your outgoing critical damage into healing. And so this can be very good for classes that will be able to apply Fury on their own very well, which is especially going to be very easy now with Jade Protocol stuff, especially in open world, of course. And you will also benefit if you have higher critical chance, and we're doing a lot of critical damage. So this is very, very good. Like, this is a very offensive and healing at the same time, a relic that is going to help you a lot. The other one is Wayfinder. Let's select it to show you. So Wayfinder is going to give you 4 seconds of super speed the moment you get in combat. And then you will also generally have your speed outside of combat increase by 33%. So basically you have permanent swiftness. And in combat, you're going to also increase your speed by 25%. So it's kind of like as if you have one of those passive signals. So this is, I think, going to be extremely valuable in some cases. One of them that I can think of is map completion. This can be very, very good. And generally speaking, this will be very good for anyone who cares about mobility and speed in open world, and you feel like sometimes you're slow or something. Let's see, what else did we have? The other one is Twin Generals. And this one, it will work with healing. So when you use your healing skill, you will gain might, and you are going to apply weakness to enemies. And you will get even more might for the enemies you will end up healing and you will end up hitting. So I don't know if this is extremely useful, but it can be definitely a more aggressive option for those who want to squeeze out as much DPS as possible. So it's not exactly a bad idea. I think this can work in some situations. The next one is Sorcerer. Excuse me. And so Sorcerer is going to apply 3 stacks of vulnerability anytime you apply cripple, chill, or immobilize to an enemy. So again, that can be maybe useful for condition builds or something. Or anytime you apply lots of CCs, because 3 stacks of vulnerability and the cooldown of it is 1 second, that's actually not bad at all. Like if you think about it, assuming you will be able to apply a lot of cripple, chill, and immobilize, you can potentially apply maybe up to 9 stacks or something of vulnerability within a very short amount of time, and that's basically 9% extra damage and condition damage. So it's not exactly something to underestimate. This can be extremely helpful. And then we have Founding. The next one is Founding. So the way finding works is you will gain barrier anytime you do a combo field with a leap finisher. I have tried it myself, and it does indeed work well. And of course, barrier in general scales with healing power. So the more healing power you have, the more barrier you will be able to apply. So any build that has a decent amount of leap finishes and can apply its own combo fields, I think can benefit a lot from this, especially if you found yourself needing a little bit more sustain. So let me give you an example. I can do this can do a blast finisher. I think this one, I'm pretty sure one of them is a leap finisher. Maybe not. Okay, but a very good example for that is a scrapper with hammer 3 skill, for example. You can use your hammer 5 to apply the field, and then you can use your leap in it to apply some barrier. Um, I will try to show you later in combat as an example or something, but for now, just understand that this is how it works. The last one is Mosian. I think this is how you pronounce it. So you will remove a non-damaging condition whenever you evade an attack, and you will remove that every second. And so non-damaging condition are basically things like immobilize, chill, and cripple and such. So this can be very helpful to counter CCs, and you will do that when you evade. And it has a very low cooldown of 1 second. So this can be very helpful specifically for competitive game modes. Wood versus Wold can be very helpful. Because usually when you want to dodge is when you also want to avoid like attacks, and the worst thing can happen is when you are locked down or something. So this can be very helpful for this situation. I'm not sure how useful that will be in open world. Probably not as much, but I see it as something that has a lot of potential in world versus world. So those are the new 6 relics that were added with that last patch. By the way, guys, in case you actually don't understand this, so when Secrets of the Obscure was released, they didn't release everything at once. They basically divided the features into parts. What we got today was the last part of that. So technically today, we have basically received all of the expansion. We have gotten all the features that we were promised with it, and that's it. And they have already announced that they are already have been working on the latest expansion, and actually we should probably expect it around, I want to say, September of something else, because this is when Secrets of the Secure was released, and I believe even in the Dragons. And they have mentioned themselves that in a couple of weeks or so, we should start getting updates on what to expect from the new expansion. So yeah, I think we are not going to wait for long at all. Let's see. So the other thing is, I'm going to switch quickly here to my Necro, because we are going to look at armor together. Okay. Let's go to one of the crafting stations here quickly. So if you go to any crafting station, and then you go to the wardrobe, and then you can type Obsidian, and this is going to allow you to actually preview the legendary armor yourself. So let's go ahead and do that for tier 2, which is softest one. So I'm going to just equip all of the pieces right now. Let's do, I guess I can do light only. Okay. So light, 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 and light. Okay, so this is what full set of the tier 2 legendary armor looks like on a light character. In my opinion, the best ones to preview are humans. Let me just disable my wings here quickly. Are humans and Norn, because they are kind of like the largest ones, largest models, and you will see the armor more clearly on them. Asura, I think, is really small to be able to see any details, and Char, unfortunately, is messed up most of the time. So I think human and Noon are the two best races you can preview armor on, any armor in general. Now, it doesn't look too much right now, but one of the best advantages that comes with the tier 2 armor is when you are in combat. You will see the cool animation when you draw, and then you will also notice that your armor is kind of like glowing and such. Okay, now hold on, let me disable my staff so that maybe you can see it more clearly. Ah, I closed the thing, didn't I? I need to do it again. Okay, hold on. Let's smooth it. Oh my god. Okay, here we go. Let's move that window to our right. What did we do? Shoulders. Okay, chest, gloves, leggings, and boots. So when you are in combat, oh, right, of course, it wielded the staff because what is it, what is it called to wield? Okay. Anyways, I hope you guys can see the glowing stuff. I hope the staff is not covering the animations, but yeah, you can see glowing stuff, and as long as you are in combat, this will be shown. Once you get out of combat, they will go away again. So if this is good enough for some of you, uh, then go for it. Go for the tier two. Now, one of the things I will also tell you is that, of course, this is going to be a huge grind. Also, by the way, Teapot have a good video about this. He has a video previewing all the weights, like what does a tier 2 look like on all the weights and stuff. I'm sure other people will do too, but Teapot is the one I have seen right now. And I think this can give you a very good idea of what to expect to see for your own self. What does it look like before you commit and do a lot of grinding? Because you will need to do a lot of grinding to get to tier 1, and then of course to then upgrade it to tier 2. Now, next we are going to also look at the Wizard's Vault reward in general. Wizard's Vault rewards. So the skins above here actually are very good. You have the Enchanted Skimmer, which I really like a lot. I'm definitely going to get. If you remember the last time, in the last one, we got it for the Griffin. Here it is. I already bought it, so I can't show you. But here we also got this enchanted one for the Griffin. So this time they give it for the Skimmer. And then we got a new armor skin called Sky Sage. You can again go to the wardrobe and you can type here Sky Sage, and you can see for yourself what does the armor look like. Just keep in mind that there are two versions here. Okay, so but you can preview. Oh, I need to do the light one. Okay, but you can see exactly what does it offer and what does the armor look like. And again, I recommend doing this on a human or a Norn. I don't recommend doing it on Asura or Char. So we got new skins. We got also new weapons. Uh, what what are they called? Let's see. Forgot the name. Lunar, right? Because they also look very good. Lunar. So again, you can go to the wardrobe and then you can type lunar and you can preview for yourself to see. So let's see, for example, the sword. Let's see the weapon only. Yep, looks cool, and of course it has cool animations and stuff. And great sword will probably also look cool. So, in my opinion, those kind of skins they're really good because there's something you can unlock from your own gameplay. So I think they have a little bit of value, and as you can see, they actually do look very good. Now I don't expect flashy stuff. I don't expect animations or trails and stuff because otherwise they're going to be equivalent to legendary. But they're very very good. So if you like the skins, again you can preview them here. You can just go to any wardrobe or any like crafting station or bank or something. Go to the wardrobe tab, type lunar in the weapons, and you can preview for yourself. And I'm sure, of course, there are also a bunch of YouTube videos out there that will show you each weapon and what does it actually look like in action and stuff. So let's see what else. We have then, of course, the refreshed rewards in general. So if you look down here, we got everything reset. And for me personally, I don't necessarily care about profit as much as I care about account bound stuff. So I always go for the account bound stuff first. So for example, I will definitely get the build storage expansion, even if it's not extremely useful to me. I will definitely get the build template. I will definitely get the legendary weapon starter kit, which is it's going to offer new stuff right now. It's going to offer new weapons. So let's actually buy this together now because I think this will be the thing people interested in the most. And let's see what weapons does it offer. So when we preview, it will give you the starter kit for the Dreamer, which I believe was also the previous one or the one before it. You have Frostfang, you have Juggernaut, and you have Incinerator. Keep in mind, it won't actually give you those legendaries. It will give you the precursor, and you can choose either the Gift of Might or Gift of Magic. Okay, and the themed legendary gift, which is like a Gift of Frostfang or Gift of Dreamer. Basically, it will reduce the cost a lot. So with this kit, we have again the one for the Dreamer, Frostfang, Juggernaut, and Incinerators. If you are interested in crafting any of them for yourself or to sell, this can be a good option for you. So yeah, so I always go for the account bound stuff first, and then I work on profit stuff. So of course, you have the bag of coins with limited amount. This is very good. Heavy crafting bags, they're good. This used to be good because each one will give you 1 gold, but now it's not really as profitable anymore. Mystic clovers, of course, are very valuable. It will save you a lot of mystic coins and lots of gold in general. Mystic coins, speaking of, you can just get it directly. You have ascended weapons, ascended chests. So yeah, as I said again, I go for the account bound stuff. I go for storage, for example. I will get the ascended stuff first. I already got the legendary kit. So yeah, I get all the account bound stuff first, and then I can potentially worry about any profit stuff. Let's see what else. Mm-mm-mm. We also got new gem store items. So if you go to promotion here, you can see the new items. We have a new glider. You can see what it looks like. It has clouds and stuff. We got a new wolf griffin skin. I like it a lot. It looks cool. Yep, it looks really good. And of course, you can dye it, and I'm sure people will be very creative with how they can do that. But yeah, I think it looks very good, very good. So those are the 2 new items we got. You also have the living season stuff is now on sale, whether the whole package or each episode. So if you haven't done so and you are working on your masteries and you care about lore and all of that kind of stuff, I think this can be a very good deal. You also have, of course, other items that are also on sale. We have some mount packs. We have the license stuff. Back slot expansion. I always go for one of those at least whenever I have it, but I already bought, I think, 3 or 4 slots. So yeah, I have them saved up in my bank to use them on any character I want. You have some dies on sale. Let's see what is on sale. We have, not those mounts are just available for a couple of days. That's it. You can always, by the way, always just go to the promotion tab and it will basically give you the most important stuff. It will tell you what is new, what is on sale, what will expire soon, like those ones at the bottom here, that kind of stuff. Also, we have now a new. I'm not sure if you guys remember, but we have stations for utilities. Station. So those items used to be very expensive, and crafting one of them used to cost a lot because the requirements for them were ridiculous. But now it's much easier. Like, let me show you. Let me switch to my scrapper here quickly, or mechanist. Okay. Uh, let's go down. And where is the huntsman? There's the huntsman. Okay. So if you go to the huntsman and I will type station, for example, I can craft the maintenance oil station, and all it requires is 10 master maintenance oil, which you can buy from the trading post, or of course you can craft yourself, and here is the ingredients for them. And 1 bloodstone brick, which will require 100 pile of bloodstone, obsidian shards, and thermocatalytic reagent, which you can buy from the vendor. So this can also be a good way to make some profit or get rid of your bloodstone dust and the other ascended materials for something more useful. So now, as a commander, for example, instead of just being able to drop food, you can also drop food and you can drop those utility stations, because most of the builds will use the regular ones. They will either use the maintenance oil or the regular sharpening stones or the regular crystals. Most of the builds, of course, there are niches, maybe like for group content or something. that will use different stuff, but most of the time this will be very good. And so as a commander now, for example, if I will do a meta or maybe even conversions or something, when I drop food, I will also try to drop a station. I think this can be helpful. Of course, it can also be useful for wood. This is wood, that kind of stuff. So they're now much cheaper, they're much affordable, and I expect the prices on the trading post to drop down even further than what they are right now. Like right now, I think they're about 1 gold for the stone station, about 15 gold for the oil, and about 7 gold or so for the crystal station. That the prices will definitely drop because you can now potentially make a decent amount of profit from your ascended junk with those stations and then sell them. And I'm sure they will also be on more demand because they're more affordable now. Commanders will drop them. So this can also be a good tip for making gold. Try to craft them, especially in the early days. You're probably going to end up making more profit than you will in, let's say, a month from now. So, just if you're going to do the oil one, I don't think people are going to buy it at 15 gold. You may want to go a little lower for that to happen. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Let's see here. We also, oh right, we got a new fractal. I haven't done it yet. I will definitely try to do it. Not sure if I will try to do it today or not, but I would love to do it with our people and maybe try to explore together or something. Okay. Hold on. Someone. Okay. Hello. Sorry, I'm not able to see chat easily, but yeah, I'm glad to see you guys here. So I haven't done Fractal, the new Fractal yet, but I would love to do it maybe sometime with our guys. Maybe we can explore it together. For me personally, I don't like to just watch guides to learn the new stuff. I like to do them myself to learn, like try to go through the obstacles, see how to do some kind of stuff. So I'm very tempted to just test it. The new fractal is called Lonely Tower. For me personally, anytime I'm trying to learn a new fractal stuff, I always go for tier 1. Like, I don't think it's a good idea at all to do the starting from tier 4. I think you should ease yourself into it. So learn it at 25, just learn the basics, get more familiar with the environment, and then, okay, we have done it successfully. That was easy. Let's try to up the pace a little. Let's try it in tier 2, for example, and so on and so on and so on. So I'm definitely going to try and do that at some point, hopefully with our people, and hopefully also we can do it in the form of a live stream. We also now conversions can be CM, and it will give more rewards. I haven't tried that myself yet, not as a commander and not as a player, but definitely tempted to do it. My understanding is it's not exactly impossible to do, but it's also not easy. You will need a lot of coordination. You will need some decent composition. Um, and you can only do it in a private squad. You can't do it in the form of a public squad. And you will have a time limit of 30 minutes, and the bosses will hit harder and generally have more health. So I'm sure, again, there are videos already out there and streams out there that shows you what the new CM looks like and such. So I will potentially try to do that in the future when I have a chance. But until then, you can go check the other ones. Now, one of my favorite changes is the action cam, because this is something I use a lot. So, in case you don't know, there's an option called Action Cam, and unfortunately, it's not actually enabled by default or even easily visible. You need to have a specific toggle for it. So, go to your control options, scroll down until you find Cam, and then toggle Action Camera, assign a hotkey for it. I just assigned anything for now, insert. It works for me. And so, whenever, like right now, you can see my mouse is just the normal cursor. And when I do insert, it looks different. Now, this used to be just a very small white dot. And sometimes in my videos, people will notice a white dot that can be annoying and they don't know what it is. They will ask, and then I'll explain that this is an action camera. And actually, I have done a guide on this. But now you have a lot more control over it. So now there's an settings here called action camera rectile settings. And so, oh, sorry, not rectile, reticule settings. And so you can change the colors for it. Okay. And you can do whatever you want. For me, I find yellow, good contrast. And you can also choose the size, and you can choose the shape. So I go for the biggest one here because it I want it to be visible. I don't want to look for it. So choose whatever you prefer here. But again, this is what with this setting looks like here. Okay. So yeah, I think this makes it very visible, and I really like the change, and I think it's going to be very helpful for those who use action cam, which is actually something I recommend, especially for those who play melee classes. And then also another change is if you are a commander, and let me just make the tag hidden for now. So if you open your squad message, you will now see something here at the bottom with limited amount of characters. This is the limit where people can see your message. So for example, let's say you are going to do a meta, and let's say you're doing the Shaq Garant meta, and you are going to do the West lane or something like this. You can type here in the message West or Ogre lane or something. Ogre lane. Okay. And so you can preview whatever kind of information you want here. And once you do accept, now if people hover on my name, they can see the message I wrote. So they know that my tag is specifically for Ogre Lane. Or let's say you want to preview other information. Let's say, for example, you are in Wodus's World and you want to let people know that this tag is just for roaming, or that you only accept people in voice, or whatever the case is. You can now type it in the squad message. And when people hover on your name, they will see that message as long as it's within the 250 limit. If you go above that, people will not see that message. So this is also a very good and welcome change. Rifts will now be a little harder. The normal rifts, I'm not talking about conversions. Conversions. You will get more enemies in general, and they will spawn faster. It will be a little harder. The only exception to this is inner Nayos. They are not going to add more enemies or anything. And the last thing we're going to talk about is Voldus' Vold. So if you now go, or actually let's open the guild panel. If you open the guild panel, in case you guys have missed it, on June 16th, we are going to have the new restructured world restructure system applied, which is what is usually known as Alliance. And so if you look below here, next team creation lockout, it gives you exactly the time until the next alliance, and when exactly you have to choose a guild before then, because there is a deadline. This deadline is actually not, you will notice if you do the math, it's not June 14th on reset, because I think it locks out 24 hours before that or something like this, or maybe 12 hours. I'm not sure, but that's basically, this is very helpful because then you know exactly how long do you have before you must choose a guild for to be your own world. This is Vault. So in order for you to do that, make sure, of course, you choose the guild you want. Make sure you are representing it, and also make sure you select it and it's highlighted. What I mean by this is, right now I'm representing Dawn, our guild, and I have it selected. But let's say, for example, I'm going to click on Meta. So now Meta is the one selected and highlighted. So I want to go back to Dawn. So now Dawn is the one selected and highlighted. So make sure you're representing, make sure it's selected, make sure it's highlighted. And then below here, you will see something called Set as Voldus' Vold Guild. Okay? And you, again, here is the limit. And once you do that, it will choose your Voldus' Vold Guild. The guild you will choose, you will see this icon right beside it. So the guild we will do Voldus' Vold with is called Meta. And this is the icon. So you will see right beside the guild name, you will see this clock icon and the castle icon. When you hover on it, it will say pending Voldus' Vold Guild. What this means is, when we reach the deadline, when we are in the next alliancing, this is the guild you are going to go with. And keep in mind that when the actual system is in place, each matchup or team lock or whatever is going to be called at the time, I don't know, is going to take about a month, just like right now. So for right now, for Voldus' Vold, each link lasts for a month, and then we get a new link. So it will be the same thing. Each link with the new system is going to last for a month. And so you will have this guild assigned to you, whatever you choose as your Voldus' Vold guild for a month, and that's it. And then next month, if you haven't changed, it will be the same. But if you want to change, you can do it in the next month, and so on and so on and so on. If you don't select a War This Is Vote guild, you are going to probably, most likely, be put in wherever you can fit. You may not have as much control because, let's say, for example, you didn't select a War This Is Vote guild, and let's say there's a specific team that you want to go to, whatever team that is. I think one of the teams was called Phoenix Dawn. So let's say you want to be in Phoenix Dawn, whatever the team is, whoever is there, whatever the case is. Let's say you want to be in Phoenix Dawn, but maybe Phoenix Dawn is full. Maybe it can't have more members right now, so maybe you won't be able to. So it may not be exactly the best idea not to have a Vote This Is Vote guild, because then there will be a lot of randomness involved. So I would highly recommend that you choose a Vote This Is Vote guild before the deadline, which you can see down here again. You have 20 white days, so no rush. In case you also don't know what this means, the new system is, as it stands right now in World This Is World, you can only do World This Is World with anyone that is with you on the same server or the one linked with it. So if I open the World This Is World tab here, our server is called Underworld. So I can only do World This Is World with people who are on my server, which is Underworld, or the server linked with it, which in our case right now is Illunar Reach. So any member that is in one of those two servers are the only people I can do World This Is World with. If someone, for example, is on Gandara and they want to do World This Is World with us, they can't. If someone is on Whiteside Ridge and they want to do World This Is World with us, they can't. They have to be on the same server or the one linked with it. And even if they are on the one linked with it, it will only be for a month because most likely links will change every month and so on. So this is how World This Is World used to work. With the new system now, it doesn't matter what server you're on. It only matters what guild you're going to choose. Because basically servers will go away and they will be replaced by guilds. So in our case, we are going to be doing World This Is World with meta. So any member that is in the guild meta and has selected meta as their World This Is World guild is whoever are the people that will be able to do World This Is World together. If you are not in the same guild and you did not select it as your World This Is World guild, then you will just be kind of like assigned to a random position or something like this. And because the new alliance system relies on guilds, you will notice they added a 6 slot. And this is it's done specifically for World This Is World. Now, of course, you can use it for something else, like let's say you don't do World This Is World at all, let's say you only do PvE, then sure, you can use the 6 slot for something else. But this 6 slot was specifically added to accommodate for the new upcoming World This Is World system. And so this fixed a lot of the problems that we were having before because of that system, because as you will notice, it basically requires you to be in 2 guilds, in the guild you want to be with in general, but also the one you're going to use for the alliance. So it's kind of like a slot taken away, if you will, and so they added a 6th slot to help with that problem. So that is it. Let me try and read your comments quickly. No. It is, to answer your question, so before, yes, it used to be completely reliant on the server, as I explained. As of right now, and until the new system is in place, I can only do World This Is World with people who are on my server, which is Underworld, or the people who are linked with us, which is Illunar Reach. Any member on those 2 servers, I can do World This Is World with. If you are on any other server, we can't. We can't do World This Is World together. But with the new system, when it will be applied on June 14th, it doesn't matter what server you're on. Even if you have never done World This Is World before, even if you don't even know what server you're on, all that matters is you be in the same guild with whoever you want to do World This Is World with, and select it as your World This Is World guild, like I mentioned. So, for example, you select the guild, you represent it, select and highlight, and then you will see sit as World This Is World guild. And when you do that, you will see this icon says pending World This Is World guild. That's it. This is how you do it. I hope that answered the question. If it was not clear, you can tell. But that is it. So this was just a quick preview. Well, not very quick, but a quick preview of the balance patch, or the patch that was released, with all the features added with it. Those are the most important ones. I think I just left only a couple of things that may not be very interesting for some. And so I think this was a big patch. and this was the conclusion of the expansion. So we got a lot of features with it. Keep in mind that there is another balance patch coming, I believe, on June 24th or something like this. And tomorrow, on Friday, we get the preview stream for it. So tomorrow, the devs will be streaming and they will show us what to expect with the new patch. And we'll probably get the balance patch early, like they have been doing the last couple of times to prepare and such. So that is it. Thank you very much for your time. I'm glad to have had you here with me. And hopefully, I am going to see you soon in another live stream. So I am going to end it now. Thank you